Total. Our next guest is someone he was actually on the show a while back. And we've used his little bit of his music on the show for ad clips, and love the fact that he has such amazing talent. Despite having FSHD, he continues to push through and give us amazing music. His name is Stephen Blier. He is I hope he's working on joining us soon here. I know, Lee, right? We're all probably working through some things here.
He's coming in, Tim.
There he is. Hey, Stephen, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing phenomenal. It is great to see you. I'm so glad you're here to share a little time with us today. I must confess, I love musicians, especially ones of your caliber, the talent, because I don't own that talent. You know what I mean? So when I see someone that has it, it's like, oh, it's so much fun to watch. It's so much fun to listen to. So it really kind of draws in both senses. And to chat with you about your talent again today is a blessing for me. So thanks for being here.
Very welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
A little bit about what you're doing through this COVID time. I know it's kind of tough on that world of performing arts and music. I've talked to other artists of other, styles of music when they try to do live performances during this time. It's been kind of a lull. It's been very difficult doing more virtual type things, which is more difficult. And with your work with the New York Festival of Song and being on the Juilliard faculty, how has that impacted what you do?
Well, everything's been online, but for New York Festival of Song, it's been fascinating because the minute I knew this was going down, I told the board, we're doing a series of online concerts.
Okay.
We're going to do our concerts, but they'll be clickable. And so we have a series called NIFOS at Home. And they have been very, very strong.
Nice.
In fact, I've gotten kind of fascinated with the whole video medium, which I'd resisted for years. Being an FSH guy, I always hated being filmed, hated it, resisted it. I thought, I'm a musician, you can just listen to me. That's what I really do. But now that I've had to make peace with being on video, I've learned a lot about being on video. I've learned about a fantastic videographer and recording guy named Jonathan Estabrooks, who was my student at Juilliard, still sings, but has this sideline as a videographer. Of course, it's boom times for Jonathan. He's doing great. And these NIFOS videos are beautiful. And the beauty is also that I can engage singers all over the world. On one of my concerts, the first one, my pianist was in Berlin. My mezzo-soprano was in Finland, 8.5 months pregnant, singing in the mountains of Finland. He was in Berlin, and he did a spoken introduction. He went to the Black Forest and read this poem. I mean, the whole thing was, it was stunning. In my recent concert, I was able to work with Denise Graves. If you don't know that name, she's the woman that sang at Ruth Bader Ginsburg's funeral. A very iconic mezzo-soprano and very close to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So it's been stimulating and wonderful to make art in a new medium. The other fascination about it is that I record all my stuff at home in my apartment.
Okay.
I make the video first. I then edit my video. And when I'm happy with it, I send it to the singer. They then play it and listen on a headphone and record their video singing to my pre-recorded accompaniment. And when you watch the finished product, often, almost all the time, the ensemble sounds like we are together.
Wow.
It's so intimate. It's just been great. Of course, I long for live audiences. I don't mean to say that the
Right.
live thing is not interesting to me or very much missed, but this was a case where one door closed temporarily and another door opened big time. I would say that with my students at Juilliard, we've done good work together. It's hard. A coaching session where I can't really accompany them, and just listen, and hearing a classical voice in full cry over FaceTime,
Not quite the same, right?
it's not the same.
Yeah, I can imagine
FaceTime can't quite handle a full voice high C.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably maxes out a little bit there.
It does. We've had beautiful sessions. Again, you adapt to the medium, to what you can work on, what you can perceive. And again, the intimacy of they're staring at their screen, working as hard as they can. I'm staring at my screen, working as hard as I can to help them. And we're all, the idea that we're just pulling through together. There's the beauty of that.
Having FSHD, we've heard it throughout the day today from patients and researchers that, and even myself, I've said it, that FSHD people, the community, are master adapters. COVID-19 was just another way to, or another reason or point of adaptation. Just adapt, change your perspective, change your attitude, adapt. Do you think with what you've described and how you've adapted to more video and how you coach during your coaching sessions with the Juilliard students, that adapting because you have FSHD has helped you even more adapt better or even quicker and have a positive attitude? It sure sounds like it has helped a little bit. Having FSHD, does that just help you adapt because that's already in you?
I think you've really hit on something hugely important that I really had never thought of. You're right. I am totally used to adapting. Can't do that this way. We'll have to do it this way now. And there's no judgment. It's like, and now we do this. We used to do this, and now we do this. And the job gets done.
Right. And it's also like that, controlling the stress factor involved with adapting, because if you're a master planner or you're someone that needs it a certain way, you have a hard, difficult time, at the very least, to adapt or to change or to go, and change on the fly, and or possibly have to do it for an extensive period of time. So I kind of chuckle, and I don't mean it to be in a mean way to people that, oh man, I have to change this in my life or that in my life. I'm just like, well, yeah, I mean, that's life. We all have to kind of adapt. And, we add this to an extra layer. So we have FSHD and then the COVID hits. But it sounds like what you've done is really taken, lemons and made lemonade for sure, and sweet tasting lemonade for that.
Yeah, would hope that your audience might want to tune in and see some of these concerts. There's
Absolutely.
one up now called Myth to Live By, which is hosted by me and this sensational student who's really come to prominence named Julia Bullock. And there's some beautiful things in it. And it ends actually with, we talk about myths to live by. I've been thinking so much about Woodstock, the song Woodstock, the experience of Woodstock, and a line from the song Woodstock, which is caught in the devil's bargain. And I feel that that's America right now. We're caught in the devil's bargain. And we've got to get ourselves back to the garden, just like the song says. So the show ends with me playing Woodstock, and then ultimately Julia starts to sing with me. And it's so meaningful to me. There's a little known fact about me, which is that I was actually at Woodstock just for one day.
Really?
Yeah, I was with some friends, and I had kind of a crush on one of the guys in the group. I'm more than kind of. If he said we're all taking a boat to the moon, I would have said absolutely, I'll be on it.
Right.
So we all got in the car together and they said, well, I have to go to Tanglewood or maybe Woodstock. And they knew they were going to Woodstock,
Yeah.
but they didn't tell me that. And so that's how I ended up there. So
What
I
was
have
that?
some personal experience of Woodstock.
Yeah. What is that? What was your day of Woodstock like?
Muddy. I couldn't really relate. I was pretty young. Um, I couldn't really relate to it much. The type of music that was being, I wasn't there at a particularly great moment for performers. I looked it up and like, yeah, it wasn't really anyone very special on the stage. But, just to have experienced the place firsthand and to have been there, um, it was meaningful. It was one for the memory book.
Yeah.
But the idea of what the myth to live by in the Woodstock was just the hippie dream of no more wars and sort of this idealized vision of what the world could be. And that was why I was so attracted to the song. Amazing to play it again.
Where can people find the myth to live by that you're talking about with Julia?
Well, it's at the NYFOS website. NYFOS stands for New York Festival of Song, nyfos.org/@home, one word. And that'll take you right to our video page.
Perfect.
And the next one is coming after Myths, is our Christmas show, which is called A Goyische Christmas to You, which is sort of a joke because Goyische is a Jewish word for meaning non-Jewish. And of course, there's nothing more Goyische than Christmas.
Right.
But the joke is that so many of the Christmas songs were written by Jews. So we have a lot of the favorites, but in very New Yorky versions, we do Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in Yiddish. And we have some new lyrics for some of the old songs. I think it's a very good show.
That does
The
sound
long
good.
tradition, this will be our 10th iteration of the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Big
amazing.
New York tradition.
That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds like fun. That sounds like fun to watch.
It
I'm
is
glad
fun.
you had the opportunity to plug that for us. Yeah, I think people got to tune in for that one for sure. Getting that holiday spirit. That's great. That's great. Now, someone here within the FSHD Society, I'm going to scroll back to one of the comments here as I look, says that Stephen helped us raise over $2 million in the last 15 years with amazing fundraising concerts. So $2 million you've helped raise with your amazing concerts. That's Beth Johnston says
wow.
that on Facebook and sharing that with all those watching. Thank you for that. Sharing your
Oh my
talent
God.
and
Thank
using
you
it as a
for the
fundraiser.
opportunity. I would do anything. But I think, it takes someone like Beth and Judy Seslow to figure out how I'm just there. I play the concert. They're the ones that really raise the money.
Yeah.
And I'm unspeakably grateful to these women and their families.
Yeah, they do a amazing job. They've worked so hard too, even with this makeshift radiothon that we throw together to help raise some type of awareness as this all-day marathon. And I can only imagine the lengths that they'll go through then to put on those concerts that you've done. I know that they are amazing events and a lot more complicated than this. So I can only imagine, work that has been put into all those things. So speaking within that, though, within that community, being Giving Tuesday, trying to raise money, trying to hit our goal of what we have out there being matched at $175,000. We're trying to hit that mark because that's what's going to be matched today. How has the FSHD Society as a community impacted your life?
Well, I mean, they're the ones who are helping to fund the cure. I mean, it's not just a fundraising committee, but it's a scientific community as well. I mean, it's that beautiful sense of looking out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need something done, you get it done. I wanted a career in music. I made one for myself. I
Right.
wanted a cure for FSH. You know, I'm participating in making that happen. I'm not waiting for the government to decide, you know, I think we should throw some money at this, because they're not going to.
Right.
But we did, and we did very well at it, and we continue to. And I think we're only gathering momentum.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I hope that we can gather some more. I know the donations are still coming in, and we have some time, you know, for people to kind of click and donate. And your presence here hopefully is going to uptick that, as more people were excited to see you come and in and talk to us a little bit about music and how you've been able to adapt through this COVID time, inspiring us all to adapt in such a way. Any last words before we let you go for this evening?
Well, Yoko Ono, not my ideal human being of all time, but she had said a lot of wise things. One thing that she said was, all we have is today. And I heard that, and instead of thinking of the negative side of it, which means tomorrow we could get really screwed, which is implied by it, I admit, but what it means also is embrace the now, embrace the day. There's that slightly corny expression they have. Forgive me for quoting it, but we don't know the future. The past is over. What we have is today. Today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. And I know it's corny, but I do think of that a lot. That there's so much adversity. I live in a wheelchair. I play the piano. It's harder to play the piano now than it used to be. But this is my today. And I insist on taking joy in it. And it's a philosophy. You have to.
Yeah, you have to. I like that. Thank you, Stephen, for joining us tonight, giving us your time again for this radiothon and helping us meet our financial goal. I definitely appreciate your time and your talent.
I'm so grateful you asked me. Thank you.